Hey guys, welcome to AppCode. In the last episode of the GraphQL tutorial, we have started the project, created the project, and wrote our first query, right? So in this tutorial, I'm going to use GraphQL mutation resolver and write the first mutation. So in the GraphQL world, mutation is something action that changes the data in the backend, right? So in here we are going to create a book in the backend using a mutation, right? So first of all, I'm going to show you something else. So this is kind of black magic, right? So because we are using GraphQL Java tools, so that is a library that enable us to type, build a connection between Java types and the GraphQL schema, right? So up to now we haven't specified anything, a builder or configuration to match this query with the book resolver get book, right? So it just magically happens. So the responsible library is this one, right? So GraphQL Java, if you go to this site in the web and go to this tool section defining schema, it tells us how to do the how the underlying mapping is happening and kind of method resolving and all that, right? So you can have a look at this. Basically what I'm doing is adhering to this concept and do the practical stuff in the tutorial. So guys, let's write our first mutation, right? So to write a mutation, first we need to have a type of mutation, right? So in that mutation we can have a method called create book for creating the book, right? So we need something called input type to pass the data to the method of a mutation, right? So I'm going to have a book wrapper class to basically book wrapper type to pass the data to the create book method. So basically it will return a book again, right? So we need to define the input of book wrapper, right? Basically it will have a title same as the book and ISBN same as the book, right? So there's a mechanism that we can bypass this one and use the book type itself, but I'm not going to cover that one in this tutorial, right? So basically we have another type called book wrapper, which is type of input, and we can use that in the mutation to create a book, right? So basically that's the part we have to do in the GraphQL schema side, right? So let's have a package called mutation, and let's create a Java class called book mutation resolver, right? So we need to implement the GraphQL mutation resolver interface and make sure to have the component annotation, right? So matching with that method, we need to have a public book create book method, right? So let's import that one, and next we need an input of book wrapper, right? Okay, now we need to create this type. Let's create that in the model package, right? So basically here we need to have the title and the ISBN, right? Okay, so let's have getters and setters, right? Now we are good, right? So let's return the book. So as you see, I am not going to use any kind of database or in memory store to keep these books and return the books from the store, right? Basically I'm going to show you how the wiring happening in the schema side and the Java side, right? And how to call the mutation in the postman, right? So that's the idea. Later on we'll improve the system and get the knowledge from the ideas, right? So we have book wrapper and get ISBN, right? So right, so let's run the application. I think we have the schema correct and mutation resolver correct and the book wrapper. Okay guys, let's run the application. I think all is great, right? So okay guys, application has started without any errors, right? So let's create the create book query. Here I am going to have the mutation called create book, and it takes a book wrapper variable which is type of book wrapper, right? And we need to again call that create book with book wrapper is equals to this variable, right? So in return we would like to get the title and the ISB, right? For the variable sections we need to pass the book wrapper. So let's create a book wrapper JSON object which is having a title GraphQL for dummies, right? Just imaginary title, and we should have ISBN which is of something again image, right? So let's send the message. Earlier I have tested that one for another project, right? So yep, we got 500. Let's look at why is that happening. Okay guys, silly mistake. So here we have book, here we have book wrapper. Basically those should be the same, right? So I'm not going to start the application again, but I'm just change the variable to book, and here also, and it should work, right? Again we got a error. Let's look at the log. Okay, so it basically tries to, you know, pass this as an integer, so we need to have double quotes here, right? So it's something. Yeah, now we got the created book. So basically what we have to do next is have a in-memory store database to store these things, right? So we wrote the first mutation. So this is the basic idea. Let's continue with the practical side of GraphQL with Spring Boot uh, from the next tutorial. So thanks for guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and happy coding. Bye bye.